Hi there guys, so what I want to do now is you may have watched some of the previous tutorials which has shown you how to install the demo content, edit the logo and change some of the demo content to suit your theme that you are going to create with the Spectrum theme. So what I want to do now is I want to concentrate on how you create a page from the very beginning. So here we've got the About Us page. I'm going to show you how to create these angled rows and then just put a bit of content within each row so that you can start building the pages. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to click on the pages post type. So if we click on there, I'm going to click Add New, and then we're going to call this Demo Page Build as the page. So if I publish that, just wait for that to save. So that's saved. So what we're going to do now is we're going to view that page. So if we open up in a new tab, and we can see here now we're just going to have the basic content on here. So I'm going to build this page up and hopefully show you guys how easy this is now. So first thing that I want to do is we're going to use the backend editor. So we click that on there and we get the Visual Composer control panel. So we're going to click on the plus button. Now the best way that I'm going to demonstrate this is I'm going to just add a text block. So that's all we want to do at this point is add a text block, and I'm just going to save that. Now again, just to build this tutorial quicker, is I'm going to duplicate that row around, I think we'll do 4 times initially, just so we can show you this. So if I now update that page, I'm just going to update it so I save where I'm up to, and then if we refresh the page in the front end, you'll see the content which is on there now. So we've added 4 rows, so that's row 1, row 2, row 3 and row 4. Now the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go and edit row 1. So let's click in the edit icon for row 1, and we're going to say, so there's different options in here that you'll get used to using, but the first thing that I want to do is go to design options, and because we want to space these rows out so they're not sat on top of each other, so the first thing that I'll do here is I'm going to add 80 pixels of padding at the top, and I'm going to add 80 pixels of padding at the bottom there, and we'll save that. And then let's just update that again, and then we'll refresh the front end of the site so you can just see that space itself out. So you can see there we've spaced that out. So I'm going to do the same again for the other 4 rows. I mean, the quicker way to do that, just as I'm demonstrating this, would be to delete the rows that I've just created, and then if we duplicate that again, that's going to copy the settings of the 80 pixels padding that we've put in there. So if I go to the front end again now and refresh that, you'll see now we get the 4 rows spaced out quite easily. So that's just getting that spaced out there. So the next thing that I want to do is so the second row that we're going to work on here is I'm going to edit that one, and we're going to go to the design options, and we're going to create a background color. So we're just going to click on that there. Now, you know, you've got your different color options, or you can run around your spectrum here, but I know that I want to use a specific color just for this demo. So I'm going to use the F5 color, which is a very clean gray color. So if I update that, and then if we just refresh that page again, you'll see this row now will get a grey background. So we've got that in there, and then the bottom row here, I'm going to make that into a black background color. So if we go to the design options, background color, and we'll just make that black. Well, in fact, we'll make it into just a softer black, slightly softer black there. So if we save that, and then we update that, and then in the front end, just update that and show you the progress. So we've got that there now. So the next thing that we want to do is I'm going to start creating the angles on these rows so that you can see this. So the first row is a white row. Now if we go to the, let me just think about this now. So if we want to create the angle so that the white runs down this way, this means that we want to edit the grey row, because what we'll do, so if we edit the second row and then we click on style, first of all we need to make the row a custom row. And now you can see we get the angle tab. So we just make that custom. We don't need to edit anything in this part yet. So we get the angle tab. So we click on angle now, and we're going to enable the angle. So the position of this angle, where do we want this position to start from? So is it top left, right, bottom left? Now I'm going to choose top right. Now that means on the second row here, it's going to use this position. The top right here is where we're editing, and we're going to say, right, we want the angle height to be 100 pixels. So if I just show you what I mean by that, it'll move it down 100 pixels here, but then we need to create a color. So because the row above it is white, we need to create that as white. So if I just selected white there, so it's got the white color in. So if I save that and then we update that, and then if we go to the front end, you'll see this area here now has got the angle on it. So we've got that angle there. So if we wanted to, just to give you so you understand that a little bit better, is if we go back to the angle tab, if we selected a color and we selected just an obscure color there, and we change the angle slightly to 80 pixels because we thought it was too steep, save that. If we update that, and then if we refresh that in the front, you can see what it does here now. So it's actually filling that angle on the second row with the color that we choose, so that whatever color you've got above needs to be used in the second row to make the angle. So, and it's reduced the angle slightly. So if I go back here now, I'm going to go back in there, and we're going to select the angle, and we're just going to change that to white again. So select that to white, and we'll save that. So that will change to white. So now, again, there's many options that we can use on this, but if we want to duplicate that angle down here, and again it's going to be a white row underneath that, if we go back onto the second row and we click on the angle tab, so we've got the first angle enabled here, top right, 80 pixels at height. We can put a border on there if we wanted to, and the width of the border, but enable the duplicate angle. So we're going to say yes, we want to enable that duplicate angle, and we want this to be at the bottom right. So if we say bottom right there, and we're going to, this means that this will be down here, and we're going to say, right, we want this one to be white as well, and we're going to put that at 80 pixels so it matches the other one, and we just save that, update, and if we refresh that page, you'll see now we've got the angle here forming in the middle, but because it's quite a tight angle here, all we need to do to increase that is go to the design options, and we just increase the padding on the actual row that we're working on. So if I update that now, and we'll go back to the front end and update that page, you can see now it gives us a lot more padding to work with. So we've got that on there. So that's creating the row within the middle. Now how do we manage this? There's a few ways we can manage the angle at the top here. So if I go back to the page, down here we've got the different options, and we've got the angle tab. So if we click on angle, so we're going to enable that angle, and we've got 3 different styles, so I'll show you the different styles. So we just select style 1, what height do we want the angle at, so we set the other ones at 80 pixels, so we'll do that. And because we're on a white background below the one that we're editing, we'll just change that to white. So if I update that now, and then we refresh the home page, so you'll see there the angle is going higher at the left, lower to the right. But then again, all we need to do to change that is style 2, update that, and that will be the opposite of what we've just done. And that's the effect that I want for this, but I'll just show you the other style as well, which is style 3, which is the pointing down of with both angles coming from left and right to a lower point. So we could use that one if we wanted. Now that's one way of setting up the top part for the angle. The other way is to completely turn the angle off on the page, And then if we go to the page title options, if we click custom settings so that it's on, and we just hide the page title, we don't want the page title on there. So if we now update that, the whole top part will disappear. And you can see there that's missing now. So we want to add another grey row at the top. So all we do there is, ignoring the page title options, now we can create our own using Visual Composer. So I'm going to duplicate that row, and I'm just going to move it above the white one. So if I update that now, and then we refresh that page, so you can see there we've got a grey one above it now. So what we need to do is get rid of the angle at the top so that it fits in with the page. So again, we just edit that icon there, go to the angle, and we want to disable the top angle. So just turn that off. We can leave that one on, save that, and then update that. And then if we go to the front end and refresh that, oh, sorry, that's my mistake that. So if we go back to, because it's the first angle, so what we need to do is so we need to change this to bottom right. We need to enable that one and turn that one off, sorry, because the top, it's if the first angle isn't enabled, the second one won't work. So we need to update that. And then if we refresh that now, so you can see now we've got the bottom right angle. So that's setting up different angles. I'm just going to show you a different style of angle that we've got in there as well. So if we've got the bottom row here, so we're going to edit this now. So I'll just show you what I'm going to do. Is the black row here. So I'm going to edit this one here. And again, we need to go to Style, change it to a custom row so that we get the angle tab. Click on the angle tab. Now, ignoring the top two angle checkboxes, if we scroll down, we've got angle style 2. So if we enable angle style 2 and we say top style 1, and we're going to leave that at 60, and we'll set the color to the color of the row below, and then we save those changes and update that. This is where you can start getting the pointed angles within the app. Sorry, I've done that wrong. If I go back here, what I need to do is, I chose the wrong color, is I need to choose that as white, because I'll explain this now at the front end. If you watch this now, the angles here will become white to give us, oh sorry, refresh the page. So you can see now what we did there is we chose the white colour, and that's angle style top 1. So then if we wanted to do the same at the bottom, we could go down here, we could say right on the angle tab, we want to use enable duplicating angle style 2, and we want it to be bottom style 1, 60, and then we're going to set that to white as well. And if we save that, update that, and then we refresh that page. So there we go, we've got an obscure angle for a row that you wouldn't get on any other WordPress theme. So again, if we want to make that a little bit wider, all we'd do is go into the edit icon, design options, and we just double that up and give us a lot more space to make the row look a little bit more spaced out. So if I refresh that there, so you can see that now. So you've got so much control over these angles and creating different style websites. So what I'm going to do now is, so this heading at the top here is, all we'd need to do is, again, you could control that using the page settings down here, but sometimes I like to use the row instead of the actual page settings. So this is a heading, and then all we'd do is turn on, toggle the editor, and I'm going to select a heading 1, and I want that to be centered. So if we save that, then update. So there we go, we've got the heading in there. So if we need to alter the padding, all we need to do is go into that row, and then, on the design options, and then we drop that down because it's way too, it's not centered on it there, so we just need to drop that down. I'll say if we go down to 100, 100 on that, update that, and then there you go, we can get that spacing right there. So once we've got a few elements in there, the next thing that we'll try and do is we'll put an image into one of these rows, so you get a parallax effect row but with your angles on there. So we'll use this grey one here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and get the image that I want to use. So I've got the image that I want to use now over here. So the first thing that I want to do, so it's the third row that I'm going to edit. So if I go into the back end here, and we're going to get onto the third row, so we've got 1, 2, 3 here. So it's the fourth row because we're using this heading up here. So edit this row. Oh, sorry, no, wrong one. Edit this row here. So then, because in the design options we've selected a background color, I mean we can leave that color there because it's not going to affect anything now. All we need to do is click on the background image. So then if we click on that and add that there, so if we just set that and then save that and update that, so if we refresh that page, you'll see now that we get the background image within that row. Now because that image is very strong and we want to be able to see the text, we can actually put a color overlay onto that background row. So again, if we go here, we're going to edit that row, and because we've chosen a custom style for the row, down here we've got overlay color. So if we say there we want a white overlay to knock that image back, and then the overlay opacity is from 0 to 1, so we want to say 0.7, let's say, for that. So if we save that and then update that, we will see this image get faded back. Oh, sorry, I must have set a setting wrong there. So if we want to knock that fade that image back. Oh, sorry about that. There's a setting that I've missed there. What I need to do is if I go here and go start, we just need to enable that so it's combined with the parallax effect as well. So the background ratio, what we'll do is we'll just set that to 1 at the moment, and I'll explain what that is in a second. So if I now update that, and then we go back here and refresh the page, we'll see that the background image gets knocked back, so we can actually start seeing the text on there. So then the parallax effect itself, so you'll see there we've got the man stood in the middle of the image, and as we scroll he's static within the center of that. But if we now go back to that row and we click the edit button and we go to the style tab, so the background ratio for parallax is if we go to 0.6, save that and then update that, what will happen now is the text on top of the background image will move faster than the actual background image. So this is where you create your parallax effects and your background images. So if you can see that, you can see the background image is scrolling, but the text scrolls a lot faster than the background. So it gives that nice scrolling effect for your themes. So you can see there how easy it is to start creating your rows and putting your content on there. I'm going to do another video tutorial that will show you how to build a page from scratch. The page that I'm probably going to use for that demo will be the About Us page, so it'll just show you how to put some of these Visual Composer widgets on there and the team and what have you. So it's yeah, so I'll see you in the next video tutorial. Thanks for watching.